Friends was a very popular show that first aired in 1994 and then officially aired its last episode in 2004. It ended up being the 5th most watched television series finale in history. The show is essentially the stories of 6 friends who live in Manhattan, New York. It is about their personal stories and their stories all together. Many of their interactions all together are typically in a coffee shop called Central Perk. This is what I plan to dive much deeper into. What is it about a coffee shop that brings friends and others together as a place of so much interaction? Let's take our first look.
No, we're done.
This interaction seen in the coffee shop is just one of many between the friends. The spontaneous singing started by Ross and the group is one scene of many where it shows the connections that they have within the shop. While they all may have lives separate from each other, they can always have some sort of connection when they are all together. Another example of their connectivity, but also an example of how music can be shared through the coffee houses, is this example of Phoebe performing.
I found you in my bed. How'd you wind up there? You are a mystery. Little black curly hair. Little black curly hair. Little black curly hair.
Along with the connectivity of friends and connectivity of music and people, there are romantic connections in the coffee shop itself. Ross goes to Central Perk, the coffee shop that the friends all hang out at. Rachel also works there. She's cleaning and closing the shop, and there's tension between her and Ross. They talk, and it erupts into an argument between the two characters about their relationship.
Try the bottom one.
While not specifically having coffee, they still establish some of their first mutual feelings in Central Perk Coffee Shop. This solidifies and establishes yet another kind of relationship. Next, we have a different kind of romantic scenario. We always hear in society about asking someone to grab a cup of coffee as a date. Coffee shops can be seen as a relaxed setting to get to know love interest or seek one out. We see this attempt here with Ross.
Hi, I couldn't help but notice, but that's an unusual necklace.
You already hit on me an hour ago.
Right, so that's a firm no. I don't believe this. I just keep striking out.
I don't get it either. I mean, you're obviously desperate. You're asking women how they want to be killed.
Well, this is great. Rachel's gonna keep kissing guys until she finds the one she wants, and I'm gonna die alone.
By drowning, or?
Why would he break up with me?
Oh, I don't know, sweetie.
All I ever wanted was to just love him and have him love me back. I mean, am I so unlovable?
Wow.
I know.
Along with all of these other things that bring people together, such as music and various relationships, work is also something that brings people together at coffee shops.
I got a job at Ralph Lauren.
Well, that's great! Congratulations!
A year ago.
You lasted a whole year. Good for you.
But Tibbs, you could still use the copy machine where I actually work. But just come by at lunch so that my boss doesn't see you, because Kim will just freak out and she already doesn't like me very much.
That's weird. I don't think my boss likes me either.
No, I don't think mine likes me either.
Maybe it's a universal thing.
Yeah, or maybe it's because you're all hanging around here at 11:30 on a Wednesday. Yeah, let's head off to work.
This scene contributes a little bit to the idea of the talk over business with coffee or in a coffee shop. Along with that, they're still friends communicating with each other and practically skipping work just to congregate together in the coffee shop. They discuss work for a while before rushing back to the job they were obviously trying to avoid. This is a unique type of work conversation, but still one over their jobs regardless. So there are many examples of these things, but this is backed up by sociologists and other peer-reviewed articles. Sociologist Emma Felton analyzes it herself. As a common ritualistic behavior, meeting for coffee facilitates encounters not only with those known to us, but also among relationships that are provisional and contingent. It is among those less familiar that the cafe is useful as a space for engaging and practicing civil discourse, and where encounters with strangers might be comfortably negotiated. The cafe's social codes facilitate the negotiation of less familiar relationships, promoting a sociability that is not easy to navigate in other spaces of the city. In the example of the article, The Social Transformation of Coffee Houses, sociologist Ray Oldenburg expanded on the idea of coffee houses as both domestic and professional spaces by forwarding the concept of the third place. Oldenburg argues that three major kinds of places dominate our lives. The first place is home, which he views as a domestic environment, where one can relax, where hosting social events and get-togethers with others may involve considerable work and making socializing an unattainable option to some. The second place is work, which he refers to as gainful or productive. The environment does not allow for much relaxation or a sense of community because of the employee relationships and turnover. The third place is inclusively sociable, offering both the basis of the community and celebration of it. This is where the coffee house comes into play. After all of these studies, we get down to the true meat of why people go into these shops and what it is that encourages the interaction. In an article by Lisa Waxman, she goes for a survey of people of what attracts them to a coffee shop. The top 5 characteristics they found of an ideal coffee shop include cleanliness, aroma, adequate lighting, comfortable furniture, and a view to the outside. It is said that it can make it feel more like home. Naturally, people are more likely to feel comfortable in a setting and associate with others if it feels like home. The friends and all of their interactions and fun are obviously shared in Central Perk because they found a coffee shop that attracted them and made them feel comfortable.